Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Building a Nation with Team Canada. And today we have for you the mid-season update for the 2021 MLS regular season. Now, we're not going to spend too much time on this, but a lot has happened since the last time we checked in. So I want to make sure we're all on the same page here and we set the stage for the next half of the year. So, let's do what we do, and let's run down the checklist and see what's happening. So, Academy, of course, not a lot going on at this time of year. Still have some tremendous prospects down there in the Academy. We haven't called any of them up recently, but there's several guys that we're going to keep our eye on. You know, Melvin, one of our new initiates, really good goalkeeper. He's already 2 stars. We got to work, the plan is to keep these guys in the academy until they graduate because the senior team is just stocked full of teenagers. We can't keep calling up 15 and 16-year-olds into the senior team. So we got to keep them sort of housed down there for as long as we can. So a guy like Melvin, unfortunately, it might hurt his development a little bit. I'm not sure. But we have enough prospects that we can kind of, what's the word here? We can experiment on these guys and see if leaving them down a little longer hurts their development or not. It's it's hard to say at this point. Another guy, Daniel Valente, very good striker, interesting kid. He's got he's not top end type talent, but he's got a lot of interesting skills, especially in terms of his technical. So we're going to keep an eye on him. Terry Roseland, another one. See if I can actually bring him up a little bit here. Center mid. We need some center mids. We need a little bit more depth in that position. He's very fast. Got great teamwork, free kick, first touch. So we're just spoiled for players down here. And it's good times. Good times. All right, finances. Again, our finances are looking very good. $30 million in the bank, no problems there. League-wise, still have just about $500,000 in salary cap remaining, so plenty of room if we need to do any moves or any deals. $2 million in transfer funds is pretty good as well. What's ridiculous is general allocation money available. $19.25 million, that's outrageous. Both of these numbers, I want to start spreading them around. I want to start spreading the allocation money around towards some of the Canadian Premier League teams because, I don't know, some of them are just, it seems to be lacking behind in terms of their roster, in terms of their facilities, all that stuff. So I'd like to start giving them some money, but it's hard to do that when they don't really have any good players. So it's sort of a catch-22 there. And then for the general allocation money, I want to start spreading that around to the other Canadian teams in MLS, but they don't want to trade with me. So we got lots of issues in terms of just spreading the wealth. It's not working like I thought it would. Anyway, board, look at this. We're untouchable. So something good is going on. We haven't quite seen that yet. But we're untouchable currently, 95%. So if I'm going to make some one-sided deals and some deals that look bad financially, now's the time to do it while we're untouchable. So I got to get that stuff in gear. You can see here we completed improving our training facilities again, so we can take a look at the club. And we have superb training facilities. That's outstanding. Our reputation is 3 stars, regional reputation now, so that's good. Great youth facilities, secure finances, 4 stars. So we are looking really good in terms of a club. Not much to complain about. Take a look at the news real quick. We got some guys going out on loan, and there's a loan discussion here. Team in Iceland wants one of our midfielders, one of our young midfielders here, James Haywood. We'll talk about him later. He's having a pretty good season right now. But I don't think I'll send him out there. I looked at this club, IA. I've sent guys out there before, but look at this. They just got 1 million players on their roster. They've already got like 5 guys they've loaned in. And I don't know the Icelandic League, but I don't think you can have more than 2 loanees in your starting lineup. As you can see here, they've only got 2 there. So I don't know if we loan him out, will he play that much? I mean, looks like, I don't know, looks like they could use some midfielders, but I don't know. I don't know. They'd have to make some serious promises for me to send him there. They've already got a ton of guys young guys that they've loaned out. So why loan in another young guy when they could just play one of their own? I don't understand, but I don't think we'll do that deal. Colin, we're sending him out to Cavalry in the Premier League. Both the Colin brothers are going out to Cavalry, hopefully. So, we can make that deal. Anything else of interest? There's some trades that got rejected from Toronto and, everywhere else. Just about everybody we tried to trade with has said no. Even when I just try to throw like millions of dollars at them, they're still saying no. So I don't really know what to do. Yeah, so Vancouver, Faria offer accepted. So we have made a transfer. Let's get to the transfers. As you can see, here's all those trades that have been rejected. People keep wanting my international slots, but I keep rejecting that because you never know. I tried to trade a bunch of players and some draft picks for, just a TFC to give them some cap room. Get Vanderveel off their roster and give them some young players, but they don't want any of that. Same with Philadelphia. I tried to move some guys around. It just hasn't been working out. So we can look at the transfer that did work, and of course it is TFC2 yet again. $925,000 after our earlier season deal for Rocco Romeo. We sent them $725K. So TFC2 is flush with cash right now. And we picked up Jordan Faria, guy who's already got 7 under 20 caps, 3 under 20 goals, left wing or right wing. He's a pretty interesting cat. I mean, he's a good playmaker out on the wing, got 14 crossing, 13 dribbling. He's got decent pace and acceleration and agility and all that stuff. Decent potential. His current ability has already gone up a half star since we got him, and we've only had him for 4 days. So, our scouts rated him pretty highly, but when we got him in here, he seemed to be even higher rated than that. So he may have reached his potential, though, and we got to find that out. So a year here playing and training, we'll see if he improves and see if he gets any better than 3 stars. If not, we can move him on. But, we've got to at least give him that chance to maybe achieve that 4th star of potential. And then he'll be national level quality. And that's kind of sort of a shotgun approach we're taking with a lot of these guys, especially wingers like this, because we've already got some extremely talented young wingers. We're now just kind of looking for backups and players for the next generation after this generation. So just looking into the future for some of these guys. Let's see. Not a lot else is going on. We'll get to competitions and see where we're at. How about this? Vancouver, first place in the Western Conference, first place in the Supporter Shield. This is quite honestly unexpected. I really didn't think that we were this good, that we could be this consistent. But actually sort of the early loss to LAFC in the Champions League, I think, has really contributed to this, because now we're able to play our full squad. We're able to have a set roster and a set rotation, and the guys have really gotten into a groove. So that's been pretty good, especially when you look Major League Soccer, you look at our season preview. Vancouver, we were listed 20th, basically last, 1,000-to-1 odds for 5 teams this year. So they predicted a big group at the bottom of the league, and we have surpassed that, tenfold, because we are up in first place. Pretty good. Pretty happy about that. Now we can see how we got there. Basically, check out the schedule, and as you can see, since that loss to LAFC, we've gone undefeated. This year we didn't have to wait until Canadian Championship to get right. we got right immediately after the Champions League loss. You know, we came out a little shaky, a couple of draws. We eked out a very good pair of results, back-to-back games, 2 days apart against Seattle. We got a win and a draw, and that really helped gain our confidence. Then we played Orlando City, beat them 3-0. Sporting KC, 1-0. Cincinnati, 3-1. This was sort of a game where we had just about everybody in there and everybody ready to go. Now, you might notice a name missing here because we have had a significant injury. We'll talk about that in a little bit, and that's been even more surprising for this run. But you can see here, Charles Andreas Brim, good old Cab Calloway, scored a brace. Wesley Timoteo, so our wingers are getting involved, scoring lots of goals. We got a lot of interesting players scoring goals these days. And in our last 3 games, we've basically, no matter who we throw in there, they're scoring goals, especially against the likes of Minnesota here. 4-0. Look at these names. Senior, Stankovic, Haywood, and Zlatkovic all getting goals. It's pretty amazing to just, throw in basically our second team. What I've started to call the Teen Titans, because basically it's a bunch of teenagers. So there's Norman in there, one of our few starters. There's Stankovic, another teenager at left wing, gets it to Senior, and he scores. Senior's really coming on. He's really progressing. He's up to 2.5 stars. Here's Stankovic, the youngster, taking the free kick. Scoring on the free kick. How about that? Here's the big man, T-Bear. Just look at all these players just sitting there. This was a terrible game to watch because we're both basically wearing the same uniform. But look at that kid. Haywood, another one of our academy players. And he's been outstanding. Here's our penalty taker, Zlatkovic, scoring. But Haywood, the guy we saw that the Icelandic team is coming for, he's been pretty incredible. As you can see here, he's our top goal scorer for Vancouver. He's got 5 goals on the season. Highest average rated player, 7.42. He's just been killing it. It's not what I wanted. Player stats here. So he's not on the list of league leading scorers. Anthony Modesti is up top there for Montreal. Well, he is our leading scorer. I guess we can take a look at our own stats here. Sort by goals. There he is. James Haywood up top. 5 goals in 6 starts. 4 times off the bench, though. So he's played a fair amount of times. He's played in 10 games of our 17. So that's pretty good for an academy player. Timoteo with 3, Zalalin with 3. Hundle finally got a little bit of a groove back. He's got 3 goals. Not tremendous in 13 starts, but it's better than nothing. He's really, I don't know, he's had some issues. Maybe once we get this promise done, maybe that's sort of holding him back, making him nervous because he had that injury last year. We promised him we would play him after the injury. So that's what we're doing. He's just not really producing, but we're going to keep him in there for as long as possible. T-Bear's got a pair of goals. Rocco Romeo, central defender, couple of goals. There's Cab with that brace. Stankovic, another one of those young academy players. He's only 2 stars right now, but he is getting a little better. His technicals are getting a little better. He's still got all that pace and determination. So he's a guy who maybe shouldn't be even playing, but because we've had some injuries, because we've sent a bunch of guys out on loan, he's getting his opportunity. If we take a look at the medical center, you can see here Venuto. He's been out for a long time. Dislocated shoulder. He's been out 6 to 8 weeks. So it's basically all season. He hasn't hardly played at all during the regular season. So we've had to shift those young wingers in there, and quite frankly, they've done very well. So we're looking good. we're looking positive here with Vancouver. Now, switch gears, head over to Team Canada because we've got some news going on here. Remember last time I told you I wasn't sure what the schedule was going to look like this year. Well, we've got our schedule, we've got our competitions. So we've got World Cup qualifying. We have qualified for the World Cup. That is past us. That is done. Hopefully you saw that. But we do have 2 more competitions this year, which quite frankly I wasn't sure if we were going to have or not. But we are going to get them. So this is going to really help us in that run-up to the World Cup next year. We've got the North American Gold Cup. We are in Group A. The groups have been chosen. And here we are. Canada, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and USA B. USA is not sending their A group to this competition because they've got another competition. Somehow, I'm not exactly sure how. Look at their senior squad. They're going to be playing in the Confederations Cup. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you, I'm not incredibly sure what the Confederations Cup is. I know I've heard that name before. And they've got, basically what they've got is they've got winners of some competitions from all the different continents. It's being hosted by Australia. So they're in along with New Zealand. And then you've got, your Asian, your South American, your European, your African, and then a second European qualifier. Why there are 2 European qualifiers, I don't know. Maybe because there's no Antarctica qualifier, I suppose. But it's an incredibly tough group for USA, but it's a great warm-up for them for the World Cup. So it's going to be an interesting time for USA. They're going to be spread incredibly thin, and I think that gives us a bit of a shot here because this is a group of death. I mean, this Group A with Canada, Costa Rica, USA, even El Salvador is not terrible. So that is not an easy group by any stretch. Mexico should win their group, but we got questions about Mexico these days. We got to see what their commitment is to this national team. They should win this group handily, but after their disaster in World Cup qualifying, who knows? This Group C, seems to be the easiest one. It's going to be between Haiti and Panama, most likely. And then here's another pretty tough group: Honduras, Jamaica, Martinique, Trinidad. They're all sort of equivalent. Jamaica should win that, but Honduras and Trinidad can jump up and surprise you sometimes. So should be an overall pretty good competition. But we're definitely in the toughest group of this competition, no doubt about that. And then North American Nations League, also no cakewalk for us here, as we once again get Mexico in our group. And remember, in this competition, only one team moves on. So we've got to beat Mexico this time, which is, it's good and bad. Like, we keep bumping up against Mexico. We sort of beat them strategically in World Cup qualifying. We didn't beat them head-to-head, but we beat them in the overall competition because they were in our group in World Cup qualifying as well. But one of these days, we got to beat them head-to-head. Maybe we can do it in the Nations League because we're going to get another chance. The other groups, USA, looks like they might play their main team in the Nations League, going up against Costa Rica. Jamaica, Panama is a good matchup. This group is up for grabs. Honduras or El Salvador, even Martinique could sneak in there. So Group 2, I think, is up for grabs in Nations League. So we do have a lot more stuff going on this year than I thought. So that's good. We're going to get a few more competitions out of it, and that's outstanding. So that's about it. Under 20s got a friendly coming up against Peru. Have they picked their squad yet? I guess they have. We didn't have too many players who made it. Several of the players that we're looking at have made the team. Some familiar names. Smiljovic is back again. The pretty promising, pretty talented winger out on the left-hand side. Mario Injai, striker. I don't know about this guy. I mean, he's okay, but I think we got a lot better prospects that we could take a look at than this fella. Jeff Anunye, probably one of our top prospects. Again, TFC 3, so his rights should be owned by Toronto. You know, his mentals are just off the charts, so we'll see what Toronto does with that guy. Dwayne DeMello, another left winger. These guys called up a lot of left wingers. You know, pretty good, but I don't know. So we're going to have to think about our under-20s. You know, he keeps winning. He keeps winning big. So it's hard to, like, get rid of the coach. But I don't know. We'll keep that in mind. I don't think the under-23s have much going on. They've got a friendly coming up next month for whatever reason. Under-19s don't get any matches, I guess. Maybe we should hire a head coach for the under-19s. Do we have an under-19s head coach? Are we being negligent? Yeah, they've got a head coach. They just don't do anything for whatever reason. All right, anyway, let's get to today's match because there's not a lot else going on. And look who it is. LAFC. We're the betting favorites, apparently, because we're coming in excellent form. 5 wins in our last 5, even though we've only beaten LAFC once in 10 tries. That is not good. They've got some significant injuries. Hedges out. Andre Horta out. We've got a couple of guys ineligible. Obviously, Venuto is the big news. Playing at BC Place, only 18,000 tickets sold, so it's not, even though we're in first place, even though we're playing LAFC, this is a very, very disappointing home stand. Only 18,000 tickets sold, so we shall see. Andres Villas-Boas is still their head coach, unfortunately for us, because he's beaten us pretty much every time. Check this out. We're going to play a little differently against LAFC. We're going to use the national team 4-4-2 garbage formation. Formation that I invented just last week. No one has ever seen this before. Confused Mexico into a draw. So we're going to see if it can confuse LAFC into a similar result. Yeah. So let's submit the team. Get on. We've got our reserves in against LAFC. Probably not a great idea, but that's just how the schedule, the rotation worked out. I didn't really look far enough ahead to see that we were playing LAFC. So we've got a bunch of youngsters in there, but so far these youngsters have been doing good. We got McMath in goal. He's kind of been overtaken. He's only started 9 times in 17 games. So he's really been sharing the goalkeeper duties with Luke. So it's, you know, who knows? Zach McMath might be getting replaced. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but sometime in the future. Definitely if we sign him to Team Canada, we're going to replace him. But that's for later. We got Ahmed at left back. Romeo starting in defense. He's got 9 starts this year, so he's doing pretty well. And then Jonas Hakkinen, 8 starts this year. And so we got pair of young central defenders, up-and-coming Canadians. We need to get these guys a lot of playing time. Kendall's going to move to the right. He's more comfortable on the left, but you know he can play on the right-hand side. So can Ahmed, so we can flip-flop these guys around if we need to. There's young Stankovic on the left. He's got a goal and an assist in 4 starts. Jack Chesser, the Scotsman, hasn't played a lot this year. We need to get him some playing time. He's like 19 years old now, so his time is now. Haywood, leading goal scorer, 6 goals in all competitions in 9 starts. He's been a wonder kid for us. I don't know how he does it, but he's doing it. And then our new signee making his debut, Jordan Faria on the right-hand side. T-Bear's taking the captain's armband, 3 goals on the season. And then Hendricks hasn't played particularly well, 6 substitutions, no goals. Not good for a striker. And then LAFC, I mean, they're playing their starting lineup against us. Gonzalez in goal, Jesse Gonzalez. McCann, Tarek, Haglund, maybe the weak point in their defense. He's getting a little old at this point, but he's still playing pretty fine. Olasunde on the right, Ring and Leerdam in the midfield. 21 appearances this year for Leerdam. He's been obviously playing in Champions League. Latif Blessing on the left-hand side is their highest-rated player. Playing very well this year. 5 goals, 3 assists, 7.14 rating. Carlos Vela on the right. 6 assists, 4 goals. Still playing outstanding at his age. Diamande in the middle. They've just got so much attacking power. It's ridiculous. And then up top, their leading goal scorer, Janssen, with 13 goals, 20 appearances. So, we're going to try to play conservative, see if we can confuse them with the never-before-seen 4-4-2 formation. Okay. Do what we got to do here, and let's go. Can you talk about your changes today? We need to rotate. Players are in need of a rest. Yes. All right. So here we go. The dome is, a third filled, 2/3 empty. That's never good. The crowd's making some decent noise, though. Funny thing is, if we were at LAFC, 18,000 would be near a sellout. Because, when you get your stadium, when LAFC gets their stadium in 2018, it's only like, 20,000 capacity. So it's just the problem with playing in a multi-use dome. Kendall with the throw-in for the first high. There's Faria. Nice head-on. Number 99 sends it into T-Bear. That's what we want to see. He's a support player, Faria. He's a guy who will get in there and cross the ball, and that's what we need when we're playing with T-Bear in the game. We need somebody who'll throw in those long crosses and send them high so the big man can go get them. He's improving, but, a little slowly. He might reach that 3-star potential, but I don't know if he's got the ability to be much more than what he is, unfortunately. So in terms of young Canadian strikers, we're going to probably have to look elsewhere than good old T-Bear, but we'll keep playing him for as long as it's feasible. Stankovic with the free kick, sends one in. There's Bear. He's such a target. If he just had better heading, he would be a beast. Looks like the highlight continues. It's been a quick half, 30 minutes down already. There's Janssen winning it to Latif, and LA is going to come on the attack. Look at our guys. No pressure. We're just sort of sitting back. Dio with the shot. So, yeah, we're just sitting back, playing defense, counterattacking, looking for set pieces. All that sort of stuff. Custom control possession. The same thing we did against Mexico. LAFC is the Mexico of MLS these days. They're so good. They got so much more talent than we do in terms of just pure offensive scoring talent that we gotta ugly it up, I guess. Can't play our beautiful game such as it is. I don't know that our normal game is that beautiful, but it's at least more aggressive. We do have 6 shots, 2 on target. They fouled us quite a bit trying to get possession back from us, but look at that, 58% possession. We're just, 3 yards in a cloud of dust over here. Basically what we're doing. Let's see. We're not doing badly. Yada, yada. We can win it. Let's go. Second half. So obviously we're feeling pretty good about Vancouver. We've got nearly 100% Canadian roster, and we're at the top of the league. So that's pretty good. I don't think anybody would have ever expected that. But it just goes to show you in MLS, if you just focus on developing players, it works. It just works in MLS, like it doesn't always work in other leagues around the world. You know, especially lower division leagues. Like, you know, I played several times lower league England, and it seems like no players there ever develop. It's like there's almost no point in trying to develop players. Now, I know a lot more now about developing players than I have when I played there, but it just seems like, you know, even accidentally a player might develop more than what I experienced in the lower leagues in England. So, I don't know. It's probably one of the reasons why I keep coming back to MLS, because I like that player development side of it, and it works so well here. Anyway, here's Dio charging in, taking the shot. Goes wide. Their first really good chance for LAFC, 60 minutes down. Haywood. Here we go. Janssen, free kick. Nice. Goes wide. McMath was there anyway. He would have stopped that for sure. Let's encourage the boys. They're a little apprehensive and nervous. Here's Janssen again. Can't give him too many of these. There's McMath with the save. Kendall with the clearance. Looks like LAFC's got some guys warming up on the sideline. Our motivational speech did nothing, apparently. Throw in our half. Haywood boots it forward. Hendricks has it. Nice drop back to Chesser, who's wide open. He's going to send it. Oh, he gets it to Stankovic. Stanky sends one in. Can't get it to Bear. Chesser can't win it, and here is LA on the counterattack. Dio looking for some support. LA building from the middle ring. Janssen, he's covered there by Hakkinen, but he gets it to Shea, who's in the game now. And Shea is stopped by McMath. Opposition instructions. Okay, Perez is in. And Shea, we can't let these guys run unobstructed. 69 minutes. All right, let's make a sub. Going to bring Norman in off the bench for Haywood. And I think, can we put him defensive? No, he's actually better on attack than anything. So that's not really what I was looking for. Anybody else on the bench who seems like he might be how about Hundle? We might be able to sneak a goal with Hundle. See if the Magic Man, you know, he is comfortable coming off the bench. We've seen that many times from good old Sean Hundle. He's up to 3 stars. He's got at least another half-star of growth in him. He is improving, so this is good news. He's just not producing. So that is the bad news. We're going to keep playing him, though, because he's an important figure for both Vancouver and the national team. You know, he's still young. He's still only 21 years old. He seems like he's been around forever. But he's only 21 years old. He's still got room for improvement. He's still, you know, a future at striker for Canada. There's Stankovic, gets it in there. Not a great cross. Bear recovers, though, to Chesser. He's, does what he does, apparently. And Perez is going to start the counterattack for LA. 3 minutes of stoppage time. We're already in the 90th minute. Hakkinen moves up to stop that attack. Dio. All right, LA. They're trying to get organized here in the midfield. They've got a lot of guys sort of running around. Dio double covered. Gets it to Janssen. Nope. They can't break our back line. Highlights continues. A minute to go in extra time. There's Hundle. Wins the header to Faria, the youngster, the new man. Let's see if we can get Hundle going forward. Oh, Chester's got a lot of room. He gets it forward to T-Bear. T-Bear looking. He gets it stolen. Old man Hagelin, the wily veteran, gets it forward to Janssen. Hakkinen, though, clears up the trash. You know, it's good having those young, spry central defenders who can cover distance and cover ground. 30 seconds to go, and we're doing what we're doing. You know, this is what this formation is made for, is to eke out these draws against superior competition. Ten seconds to go. Last attack for LAFC. Janssen all by himself. Plummer nowhere to go with it. And there it is. So what do they call this? Like ruining football? I think that's what we're doing here. Especially when it comes to MLS. Because MLS is like, you know, get forward, score goals, you know, action, attack. And we're just playing garbage ball. But we got the draw. We keep our undefeated streak going. I'm happy with that. I mean, that's our second team playing garbage ball. We get a draw. It's fine. It's fine. And, of course, our new man pulls his knee ligament in his first game. He's out for 2 weeks. Good job. Good job. All right. So, yeah, coming up next, looking at the old calendar here, we've got the North American Nations League squad announcement coming up. And then next month, we will get into the Nations League against Antigua and Barbuda. And then, is that it? One game? That's weird. So one game in that competition, and then we switch over to the Gold Cup. This is going to be a weird year. And we play 4 games in the Gold Cup. And then we come back to Nations League later in the year. So I don't know. It's a weird year. But yeah, that's what we got coming up. Nations League, Gold Cup, Nations League again, and then, you know, maybe some MLS in between. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.